Sex sells, everyone knows it. But how can you get sex to sit in with your product if it's not quite that sexy? Advertising, of course, is the answer. And I saw an ad the other day for the Ford Cougar. Now, I've got to admit, I think the Cougar is quite a nice looking SUV, but sexy? No, not really. Now, on the ad, the woman who was driving it was talking about what sort of car she was looking for when she was going to buy a new car, blah, 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 all that usual sort of malarkey. And she said they needed something that was practical to fit in paddle boards and whatever other active stuff they were doing, surfboards or whatever. So for a start, you can't fit a paddleboard in a Cougar. That's ridiculous because they're about 8 foot long. But surfboards, yeah, I'll give them that one. Now, the other requirement was, oh, I wanted something a little bit smaller and sporty because, you know, I still want to be the hot mum. I tell you what, if you want to be a hot mum, don't buy an SUV because SUVs are not sexy.
But I can't help myself. Say what? I don't want to be a freak.
Now let me just say that if you turn up in an SUV to school, you're not going to be the hot mum. You're going to be the same as every other mum because just about every other mum these days drives an SUV. So you're not going to be the hot mum, you're just going to be another one of the mums. If you really want to be the hot mum, how about you bypass the SUVs and go and drive that sexy ass 6-litre V8 perfect blue SSV sport wagon that I drove last week, because that will bypass the hot mum and send you straight to belt level.
I don't want to be a freak, but I can't help myself. I don't want to be a freak, but I can't.
Schoolboys will notice when you turn up. You can turn up in a moo-moo with your hair in rollers, if you use rollers, and still be the hot mum. But doing it in one of these, it's not going to happen.
I don't want to be a freak, but I can't help myself. But I can't help it. I don't want to be a freak, I don't want to be but I can't help myself. But I can't help it. I don't want to be a freak, I don't want to be but I can't help myself. I can't help it. I don't want to be a freak, I don't want to be but I can't help myself. But I can't help it. I don't want to be a freak, I don't want to be but I can't help myself. But I can't help it.
Front seat accommodation's pretty far from sexy, but it's roomy and practical, and that's pretty much what you want. You do have some nice storage areas here, like there's a massive bin under this center console which you can stash plenty of goodies in. You've got this annoying bin at the front here. Now that was good last time I had one of these because I had a slightly smaller phone, but now I have a 5-inch phone and it won't fit in that spot. It barely fits in here. You can fit it down there if you like, but who's going to put their phone down the bottom? We've also got this new addition, which is a fake key. Now it's got a barrel like a normal ignition, but it's got like a pretend twisty knob in it. Now, it's kind of good because it's essentially the same as push button start, except there are a few problems with it. Like if I have the accessory on, the engine's not running, but I open the door, like I've still got a key stuck in the car and there's nothing in there. It's just a fake key. But at least you don't have to go fiddling through your pocket to try and find your keys. Prepare to be dazzled. That's all the information you can access. 2 trip computers and the odometer. So you can't really get a good estimate out of fuel economy unless you just do the maths. Now similarly, here is the radio. So here's the radio for the LS, and it's pretty basic stuff. I mean, it's got for you and me. pretty old-fashioned dot matrix type LED display. All buttons everywhere. There's no touchscreen business in here. Now, as much as I love the touchscreen stuff, this is actually really quite easy to navigate. Now, when you're using MyLink and other touchscreen type systems, you're going to go through a little bit of a folder structure to go to the next folder or the next album within your USB music. With this one, there you go, next album. Next song. Next album.
The most important thing in business is honesty, integrity, hard work, family. Never forgetting where we came
Now,
from. Thank you, Sean.
it doesn't do anything else,
You are what you are in this
but
world.
that bit is quite good.
That's either one or two things.
So you got your Bluetooth as well.
Nobody.
You can make a call, you can do your last call, or you can put one into the phone yourself and press call and it will go through the Bluetooth speakers. But it's really no substitute for having direct access to your phone, which is available on a lot of other vehicles these days. Obviously the Cruise and the Commodore, which I've driven quite a few times before, their systems work quite well for accessing your phone book, your last calls, the previous calls, your missed calls, all that sort of thing. So technology wise, the LS isn't really on par. I also like the push button for the central locking, and that of course operates the locking for your fuel tab as well. However, when you go to fuel, got a nice little cap holder, but you see the little actuator just popped out the bottom here. It's not a real big deal, but I don't like anything moving around near fuel. So now you can't close that flap, and if you happen to miss that, then you're going to close this onto your little actuator there, and that will ruin your lock. You just press your button to automatically unlock it, of course. These types of cars aren't the type of cars you buy to get laid. These are the type of cars that you buy because you got laid and you got babies. Like me, I've got 3 kids, and this vehicle is practically very well suited to all the normal duties that I have as a dad. So there we have it, the Holden Captiva 7 LS. It's a 2.2 litre turbo diesel. It's front wheel drive only, so it's certainly not going to go off-road. I wouldn't say that it's put the sport in SUV, and it's certainly not sexy, so I guess the S stands for suburban. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Look at that. Oh look, I've left my knob in the knob holder. Shut up, man, what are you beeping about?